In half an hour, BBC2 Northwest visits the Gardener's World. First of all, in place of our advertised programme as a tribute to Russell Harty, who died earlier this week, we share some of his treasured encounters with Northwest folk in Now.
The official guide to Blackburn says, and I quote here, "Over the years, Blackburn has been well served by its entrepreneur, by Blackburnians of vision, talent and energy. For example, Humphrey Cheetham, textile man and beneficiary of the Manchester Cheetham School of Music. Viscount Morley, the Liberal peer. Kathleen Ferrier, the internationally famed contralto. And Russell Harty, the popular television interviewer. Remains to be seen." Queen Elizabeth's Grammar School, better known locally as Queggs, certainly provided the proper sombre environment for serious study, and despite the surroundings, or perhaps because of them, we had some good times here. I came back to Queggs a couple of months ago when the Queen opened a new wing. It occurred to me that I'd like to spend a slightly longer time here, and perhaps in less overtly regal company, wandering along the corridors and opening long-forgotten doors in my mind. When I was a lad here at school, we never saw a girl except perhaps once a year, and that was when we had a dance at the local girls' high school down the hill there. And we'd heard about schools where there was a thing called co-education, where boys and girls mixed, but that may as well have been on another planet. And in 1974, this entire place went co-educational, and Charlotte Hindle was in the vanguard of that movement. You see, it would be impossible for me to tell you, although I'm sure you already know, what kind of debt I owe to this building. I know that sounds a bit pompous.
No,
and a bit
I can
grand,
understand it.
But really, very important things happened here. Very important.
Did you enjoy your time here?
Hugely. I got out of bed very early in the morning. I was never, ever in once late for school, and I was always the last person to leave here. I used to linger around this side here. That, I think, is that the hall?
Yes, that's the hall where the refectory is, where they have the school dinners.
Today's great. But I just simply used to love school dinners.
The school dinners here are delicious.
Delicious. And in my day, which is now what, 30 or 40 years ago?
A long time ago.
A long time. Only the poorest sort of people used to stay for school dinners, because the rich ones all went home. And we had just a bit of care-line in those days. But I said to my mother, I don't want to come home for proper food. I want to stay and have
chips and cheesecake.
Chips and cheesecake.
And not together, but and semolina pudding and things like that.
As the reputation of the school, and in a wider sense the town, depends on the people it produces, what are the next generation?
There's quite a lot of pressure on the Danish sixth form, isn't there, to do your UCA forms and decide where you're going to do and what you're going to do. Have you all decided what you're going to do?
Yes.
Oh?
Big decisions.
I want to do law, and I think it really will be the career for me.
What about you, Russell? What happened to you? Did you know what you wanted to do?
Well, I'll tell you what I used to do when I went home at night time. I used to play at school the whole time. This is vaguely when I was about 21 or 22. But I used to I have a sister, poor thing, who I used to make sit down there. I had a blackboard and things here, and I used to carry on teaching. I spent all bleeding day here, and then went home and did the same thing at night time. I simply adored being here.
So that explains why you went straight into teaching then?
And taught for 10 years.
How do you get into television then?
How long have you got? No, television is very like teaching. You have to sit down or stand up or whatever you do and vaguely try to entertain people and teach people the odd things. So it's rather like that. Although I have to confess, I don't want this to go any further. When I was teaching, I used to have friends who worked at the BBC, and whenever they wrote to me, this is at a place called Giggleswick, not north of here, whenever they wrote to me, I used to make quite sure that the letter, when it arrived at the BBC written on the top of it, was thrown onto the staff room table. And I'd go in before the staff came and put the letter down there. And then I'd go out of it, and then I'd come in and wait for a few staff to hang around. Oh my God, here's another letter from the BBC. A letter from the BBC, everybody. And I did secretly apply for a job at the BBC maybe 20 or 30 times.
What did you want to do, though, initially?
I wanted to use the notepaper. That's all I wanted to do.
So you would definitely want to be, like, in front of the camera, on TV?
Well, I wasn't quite sure. I've never been as happy working in television as I was when I was a teacher. This imposing building here is called Muncaster Castle, and there's been a building here since Roman times. The family who now live in here, called Penningtons, have been here for 500 years. But the story isn't all one of glamour and romance, because not long ago, this place was losing £50,000 a year. And then an enterprising son-in-law came and took up residence here and turned the fortunes of the place around a little bit. But in order to do that, he had to change his name from Patrick Gordon Duff to Patrick Gordon Duff Pennington, and he lives inside this house, and I hope to be able to meet him shortly.
God, I wonder who the hell that is.
It's me.
Oh,
It's me, my name's Harty. I'm very apprehensive. How are you?
That's quite all right. We've got a motto in this house: the ornaments of a house are the friends who frequent it. And we're very pleased to see you.
That's very kind of you. I wondered if there are certain people, you know, who don't actually like visitors in the house a lot.
Well, we love them. Everybody says the public's awful. And we have the most extraordinary people come. I mean, I shouldn't go on like this, but we had a Russian woman in here the other day. And I said, where do you come from? Carlisle, Lancaster, London, Siberia. What? Young man, she said. I said, Siberia. You probably know a lot of Russians. They're probably aristocrat. I am a peasant. And she was wonderful. She had orange hair like this, and a black hat, and dress cut sort of like this, and out down to the bottom. And she came into the library like this, and she come up to clip a friend's cat's claws. And we had a wonderful time. And I write a lot of poetry, and she was called Valentina Palukin. And she was the professor of Russian poetry at Kyiv University. We're friends forever.
Good for you. But in your handbook, which I have looked at, it says that it's a kind of family confrontation every day. Does that not irk you or annoy you?
No, it's exhausting. You get 1 in 3,000 that puts you on the floor. But what's so encouraging for someone who's trying to keep a place like this going, this is my wife's house, not mine really, that we get very underprivileged people from Liverpool. You'd expect them to say, well, why the hell should you live in such a beautiful place? There's so many beautiful things about it. They don't say that. They say, we come to see you in your house, to talk to you as someone in their own home, and we don't want your National Trust, we don't want you nationalised, we don't want you as hotel, we come to see you, because we can't do that in most places. And a lot of owners, I know, they hide behind their newspaper and wish the devils would go away. But we don't feel like that.
Can you speak up a bit? Because
Yes,
What's your name?
Doris.
Doris what?
Proctor.
How long have you worked here, on and off?
Volunteer, since it opened, the last couple of years.
You don't get paid?
No, I'm
So
a
you can
volunteer.
knock off when you want?
Oh yes, I can wander off and do a bit of public relations with the visitors.
Right. What are you doing?
I'm weaving, trying to.
What is it?
It's woolen cloth, is this?
Your family's been in this business as well, have they?
Yes, yes. All my mother's sisters have worked in a mill. The men worked in the pit. There were no option. It was Hobson's choice.
No, you're quite a biggish lady.
Yes.
And there were narrow spaces.
So I used to get past.
Your knickers got fast.
Not quite, but nearly.
But did you actually get fast
Oh
at
yes,
all?
many times.
What do you do then?
Well, you'd shout for someone and try and attract somebody's attention.
But now watching you see, you've got to have a very fine eye for things, haven't
Yes,
you?
yes.
Because you've been fiddling about with. What are those things there?
Which?
Those bits on the top.
These?
Yeah.
Well, this is it's a faulty fern. It's too slack. And so with this coming across
But you've got to have a fine eye.
Oh yes, that's why you notice a lot of weavers nearly all wear glasses.
Yeah.
A lot of them that's been weaving years have bothered with hearing troubles. because the vibration, apart from the noise, causes damage to the ears.
And they all talk like this, talk.
Yes, and then a lot of people going back years had chest problems because they were really bad condition. They were steaming, and the old kissing shuttles. Well, these aren't. These are self-threaders.
What's the kissing shuttle?
Wait a minute. I can't show you. Where's that other shuttle, lad?
Come on, Doris. Is that another Doris, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Well, to thread it.
Are you a double act, you two?
Yes, with mop and bucket. No, a kissing shuttle. You'd throw it down and draw it up at the same time.
Like, do it. Come on.
I can't do it with this. This is the different eyes.
What do you
throw
do?
it down like that and draw it up at the same time as
In
you
your
throw
mouth?
it down. Well, till you learned it properly, it's best thing for tonsillectomy going. You know.
From the sublime to the ridiculous, these vehicles certainly look as though they should belong to some sort of vintage museum, and yet these tractors aren't built for their looks, rather for their rugged reliability in a very hostile environment. The fishermen of Flookborough drive them 7 miles out into Morecambe Bay over treacherous sands, challenging the tides to eke out a meagre living. Flookborough is renowned for its potted Morecambe Bay shrimps, surely one of the greatest delicacies of our northwest. When rail was king, the tiny boiled and buttered shrimps were shipped out of here by the trainload to the mill towns. But alas, the industry no longer thrives, rather it survives. Jack Manning is the last of 3 generations of Flookborough fishermen.
Good morning. Morning. You turn that off. Oh, really? Is it a very sophisticated machine?
It is. It doesn't like to stop.
How long has it been going?
About 7 years since I first ran it,
Yeah.
but it was an old tractor when I got it.
Well, it's not a young tractor now, is it?
No, the farmer had finished it when I got it. We only use it their scrappers.
You've just come in from the sea here.
Yes.
Has it ever broken down on you?
Yes, unfortunately it has twice this week.
And you can't call the AA out to here, can you?
No, it can be quite dodgy.
What time did you go out this morning?
6 o'clock.
On your own?
Yes.
You haven't left anybody out there?
No.
What have you caught?
Quite a few shrimps, probably 8 or 9 stone of shrimps this morning, which is quite good for mid-November or getting on that way.
Yeah. I've no idea how you catch a shrimp.
Well, we go out with these tractors and the trailers, and on the trailer are 2 nets, which are dragged down the channels. The net scrapes along the bottom, the shrimps are on the bottom, crawling about on the sand, and we simply scoop them up.
When you're out there, do you talk to yourself?
I do, yes, I must admit I talk to myself, yes.
Do you make sense to yourself?
Not a lot. I sometimes talk to the tractor and it doesn't take any notice. I used to talk to the horse when I went with the horse, and it did listen.
Have you ever thought you were going mad out there?
Sometimes been a bit frightened in certain conditions. In thick fog, in very rough weather, but it's just another job.
It's not just another job. I mean, if I had to look for another job tomorrow, which the rate I'm going I may have to, I wouldn't be choosing this one to do.
No, I don't think I would give them the choice again if I were starting again. But when I was a young man, it used to be quite a decent living, and I think it is a young man's job. It's a hard job, a rough job. And therefore I think it isn't necessarily a young man's job. The sooner I'm out of it, the better.
Can you tell when there's a dangerous bit coming?
Oh, aye. And when you're brought up to the sands, of course, that's what you have to learn to look out for.
What do you look for?
What changes are taking place in the bay every tide, you know. It's a new experience every day.
Yeah.
But on the highest of tides, our same as strong winds and heavy rainfall all contribute towards changes, especially up here, well up the estuary.
Then a man could die out here, couldn't he?
Oh, it's a dangerous place to be without you with someone that knows what they're doing.
Well, that's the end of our 7-mile walk with Cedric here across the bay at Kent's Estuary. I have to confess to cheating a bit. We've cheated a bit, haven't we? Because it was very rough when we set off, and even we won't give our lives to art. We won't separate our lives from art. Meanwhile, I'm going to be conveyed in a different kind of transport, which is here. Good morning.
Morning.
On to my way to Leighton Hall. Thank you for saving my life and limb.
Grand.
And I'll see you next time I'm here.
Very good.
God bless you.
Right.
Keep the home fires burning.
Will do.
Morning, Russell.
How are you?
All right, thanks.
You see, the weather here is so capricious. We set off in the most terrifying wind and rain. And then we had to cheat because we didn't want to risk our life and our limbs.
Yeah.
So we got into a motor car and finished the rest of the journey here by foot. So we're cheating a little bit. But here it is, the most beautiful weather.
Absolutely lovely, isn't it? Looking across the Lake Hills.
Can I come and join you?
Yes, yes. Are you brave enough?
How do I get in?
One
on
on the step. If you're getting on a stagecoach, it's 3 because you're going on the top, but we're not as high as the stage.
Don't go away yet, for heaven's sake.
No, get yourself relax.
Lean back a bit.
Yeah, where's your hat?
Hat?
Well, you don't get in a carriage without a hat. But anyway, I'll let you off this time. All right.
What is it called, this?
It's a sporting dog cart, and it would be made about 1890. So it's getting on for 100 years old. Your car wouldn't last as long.
Isn't it magic? Does it have to have a D-coke or a D-service?
Well, no, nothing like that, really. It hasn't got rubbers on the wheels. It's got iron wheels, which makes rather a lot of noise.
Why do you think there is so much revival of interest in this kind of transport?
Well, it all started off, really, with the Queen's coronation, because the carriages were all horse-drawn.
Yeah.
That was 1953. And then in 1957, the British Driving Society started up. And since then, there's been this great revival. But you see, I've never stopped. I started when I was about 11. And I did a lot in wartime. I was working on the land.
With horses?
Yes, with a pony and float and taking pigs to market and all this sort of thing. And I never stopped, you see, during the 40s and 50s.
Is he reliable, this?
It's a she.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, well, yes, I say it's reliable. Don't you feel happy?
You can't tell what it is from this end, you see, can you?
No,
really?
you can't, no.
Do you think the town is fully conscious of the probable oil well? I was going to say gold mine, but it's an oil well that it's sitting on. Do you think?
Not these days, no, because it doesn't see it as such.
I can feel its restorative power here. Maybe, you know, I could get a job just standing here all day and become not the village idiot, but the... You know what I mean?
You could be extolling the virtues of the stuff.
Stand here the whole time,
yeah.
Not doing anything, with it splashed between my hands.
Yeah.
If the waters in these parts require testament, then the longevity of Buxton's senior citizens seem to support its qualities. 680 local pensioners have turned up here in the Pavilion Gardens for their annual Old Folks' Dinner. What are they for, these?
This is to try and make the money for they do.
For the lunch?
For the lunch,
Do you mean if I don't buy a ticket, they're not going to get any rice pudding?
No, if you don't buy a ticket, they're not getting any trifle. Yeah. And I'm not going to strip.
I thought there was going to be a stripper.
Dolly Parton didn't, did it, did she?
A woman in there, she said, you weren't here last year. I said, no, I haven't joined them.
You can join now.
What do you have to do to qualify for a lunch?
You have to be an old age pensioner.
Right. So I'm not far off then.
Well, you can have lunch if you wish today, regardless, you know.
Can I be honorary?
Yes, really.
There are no concerts in Rochdale, presumably?
Never have been, really. No, very little rock and roll ever in Rochdale. Used to have to go to the Free Trade Hall in Manchester when I wanted to see music.
No, you're talking Big Bear.
Right,
My
goodness. I walked back once from the Free Trade Hall to Rochdale. Saw Rory Gallagher, 1972, 73, and there's no way of getting home.
Apart from motoring through the side of the town, we haven't seen the middle of it. Shall we now go down and have a look at the middle?
Oh, all right then.
Okay. My mother used to call these things precincts. We'll go and walk in the precinct. Now, was it a precinct in your day?
No, they put this up, in fact, just as I was leaving. Before this was here, it was a tangle of these little dingy streets, which were marvellous. This was a street called Lord Street, and then there was Blackwater, and behind here, where we are now, this used to be the old co-op, which was known as the store. And although the co-op started in Rochdale, that wasn't the original place. This was like the department store. And then behind that, there was the indoor and outdoor market. My dad used to take me to that shop over there, which was a really old-fashioned outfitters called seniors, and it's had all those little drawers that they had socks and things and behind the counter label. And he used to leave me in there with his hand on my shoulder, and he always used to say to the bloke behind the counter, "I'd like some socks to fit this boy," as though he was a Victorian philanthropist who he just found this waif in the gutter.
Extremely well-known clock, that, isn't it?
Oh,
Not
yes.
only in Chester, but perhaps throughout the Western world.
Oh yes, I should think it's on every video film that's ever been made by every tourist who's been here.
Because it really is almost a tourist trap.
Oh yes, in the summer this place will disappear under a blue rinse ocean of American matrons. And it's curious, it only ever seems to be matrons. You see very few men, I think they eat them, you know. You see the occasional man. I think that's their packed lunch.
Yeah. There are little bits of history that have been spilling out for you from you on our walks round. Handel came here.
That's right. In fact, the first performance of the Messiah was here.
Well, that's contrary to popular belief.
Ah, yes, but what happened, you see, when he was coming up on the coach, he just finished the Messiah just as he got into Chester, and he was anxious to hear it sung, so he went to the cathedral. He said to the organist, "Have you got anyone here who can sing by sight?" Because, yes, he said, there's a guy who's a printer on the paper down there. He's a lovely singer. So Handel went down to see him, and he said, "Well, we're getting this pub. The pub is just down there." He said, "Get this pub. If you'd like to come there, Mr. Handel, we'll be glad to oblige you, sir." And he said, "Can you sing by sight?" "Oh, yes," he said. So, of course, they get in the pub, and they start, the first time the Messiah has ever been heard, and they start to sing, and it's diabolical. And Handel, who worked on a very short fuse, he said, "You try, you tell me you can sing by sight, you can't sing by..." "Ah," I said, "but not by first sight, Mr. Handel."
This is rather a jolly place for shopping and for browsing. Absolutely marvellous time. How do you do? It's a rather nice place for shopping and browsing and strolling around and meeting people as well. Although a lot of American tourists get a bit of a lurch when they see the name Watergate at the end of this street. And also here, a lot of the heritage of the Northwest goes under the hammer, just here.
5,000. 5,200. It's against you all at 5,200. One more. At 5,200. It's still your 5,200. It's against you all. 5,200. Right, it's yours.
Any of this going to appear?
Well, this
here?
will appear in one of our specialist decorative sales. The thing is, if you're regular, people get a bit bored of just the same old general things going through every fortnight. So we try and create specialist sales. That would be in a decorative sale, arts and crafts, the 20th century.
Apart from being hideous, what is it?
Well, he's a Dalton character jug, but he's red-haired and not brown-haired. If he was brown-haired, he would be worth a couple of £100. But he's worth a bit more, as he's red-haired.
God, he's suddenly become attractive.
This is Radio 4, it's 9:05, and time to start the week with Russell Harty.
Good morning to you all. We're in Manchester this morning, and this is commonly known as the Northwest, and in a sense it's everybody's home, and everybody's come home in a kind of way, even though it's a terrible, terrible morning. The cloud is down, the rain is lashing, it's bleak midwinter, and Eddie Shaw has journeyed from goodness knows where. Like where, Eddie?
I've come from Moberly, which is a village about 9 miles from here.
Is that in
I've come the
England?
nearest.
Is that in England?
Well, it's in England. It's also, I think, the second largest or largest village in Britain.
Is it?
So we're quite proud of that.
Do posh people live there?
No. Working farmers. like
Yeah.
me.
Pull the other one, Shaw. And also with us, literally arrived 1 minute and 27 seconds ago, young Phil Redmond from Brookside and Merseyside and whichever side you are from, and you've arrived from BAFTA, where you were last night. Tell us what happened last night, because we all watched.
Well, it was the usual sort of boring event, really. I mean, so 3 hours long, went on too long.
Did it?
Yeah.
I thought Aspel did rather well, didn't you?
Oh, I thought it was really good, yeah. She really sort of...
What did Princess
kept that
Anne
moving.
look like?
Yeah, she looked really good. I mean, she... dare I say it, had a really good hairstyle this year. You know.
Were you tempted to offer her a small part in whatever bubble you're now concerned with?
I don't think we could afford that fee. That's the problem.
Afford what?
A fee.
A fee. I thought
Money.
it said N-E. I thought it sounded further
No,
education.
fee. It's Northwest for money.
What state, physically, is your body in now?
Ah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. All my sponsors out there, no problem at all.
He said like.
No, I think certainly from Japan, I'm at least I'm about 1/8 of an inch shorter in height again, which I've been compressed down. But my back now is, I'd say, virtually back to 98% of almost free from pain. My mental condition, I think, is stronger than ever.
Do you pray?
Strange. In a way, yes, but I won't elaborate on that.
I mean, do you pray to some kind of God, or to a God, or are you a Christian, or do you pray to the God of the wheel?
No, I believe that there is life after death. I believe that your loved ones are looking down on you and safeguarding you. I believe, certainly in my particular case, where I've had some very bad accidents in past years, that I've been saved. And I really do believe that the reason for that is because hopefully we'll go on to get the championship one day.
Do you ever imagine that you may come to rest here?
Oh, yeah, sometime over, yeah.
Do you have a plot of earth marked with your resting?
We'll have a cottage with an acre around it.
No, I mean when you go to the great library in the sky.
I mean, have I worked out where I want to be buried? Yes, 2 places, that's the problem I'm trying to...
Well, you always were rather schizoid, so maybe you'll be able to manage it.
I've watched you at work over the years, and I have a little suspicion, this you may find impudent, that you are a performer manqué.
Well, I can't really say very much to that.
Would you subscribe to that theory? Because you do give a performance in that pulpit, don't you?
It's an old adage, isn't it, that a failed actor could be a parson, or a failed parson could be an actor. I think there is an awful lot of similarity in seeking to present something, as you know very well. It can only gain if you present yourself with it. I don't think we can stand off and say this is the good news about Jesus Christ and this is what it's meant to ABC. That doesn't cut any ice. But if you can actually say, well, there is a faith that is affecting my life and this is what it is.
But a lot of it, of what you do, seems to me to be spontaneous. Now, is that very good acting, or do you often wait for some kind of divine afflatus to descend upon you? Do you know what you're going to say every Sunday morning?
I've got a clear idea of what I want to end up having said, but how I'm going to say it, I'm not sure.
I've also seen you have little debates with Hugh Stalker, the organist, where you've said, we're now going to sing hymn 261, and then there's been a little silence as somebody turns around and says, I think you'll find it's 172.
I think that's a sign of my insecurity, because it's never Hugh that's wrong. I think, as we were talking about this business of not writing everything down and having to rely a little bit off the cuff, it does mean you make errors of administration.
But you turn them to your advantage, because last time I heard you do that, you said there seems to have been a straw poll taken, and the consensus of opinion is that we ought to sing hymn 269.
Well,
and everybody starts laughing.
But it's because the people knew the hymn number before I could give it. Yes, you know, before I got it wrong.
Does anybody live on a farm? My goodness me. What kind of animals do you have?
You don't live on a farm.
What, giraffe? If you were being deeply honest, do you feel cut off?
I think I did when I lived here. I lived here for 4 years, and then I moved and lived in and went to live in Blackburn. It's just a little less uncivilized, let's put it that way.
What about the influence on these kids, though?
Well, I think they have the fact that they've now got television and videos, the fact that they now have parents with cars, the fact that they go out frequently with their parents with cars. They are less isolated than they were. I think part of my job is to make their isolation less.
and therefore we encourage people to come in so that they're not just seeing the two of us all day long, but they're seeing other people as well.
You have guest lecturers?
Well, hopefully, but I mean, a person like yourself, for instance, I mean, they will remember now that they had an extra person talking
They
to
couldn't give a damn, though. They're all,
well, I mean, they were busy, yes, but they'll remember. It's a new face.
Will you remember me?
Oh, Judith, thanks very much.
That tribute to Russell Harty replaced the advertised programme in the North West Face series, which will be shown on June the 24th at 8 o'clock on BBC2 North West.